Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for a mini spin cycle and eco wash because I just couldn't wait until Monday. Now, it all started when I saw Prince William and David Beckham actually celebrating the culmination of a 3-year campaign to raise money to purchase 2 air ambulances for London. Now, over the course of that 3 years, and with the help of David Beckham fronting a raffle and things like that, they raised £16 million. So that is a real measurable outcome, isn't it? With a really great result. And we got to enjoy, seeing them sign the air ambulances and mixing with the crew, and Prince William showing David Beckham how it all works. And David Beckham was clearly thrilled, just absolutely thrilled. He's so unused to being invited to help and then not being ignored by the person that invited him, a la Harry in Australia for the Invictus Games. It just made such a refreshing change that Prince William was actually prepared to have a photo op with him. Now, all this pales into insignificance when you put it against Meghan Markle's 40 by 40 initiative, or the delivery of lots of copies of The Bench to a needy inner city school, or, baskets of sandwiches and drinks delivered to the hospital after the Uvalde tragedy. All pales into insignificance. I mean, what's 2 air ambulances after all? Now, you might detect a little hint of sarcasm, and that is because the coverage of this event just filled me with fury. But before we get into the fury, let's have a look at some eye candy, shall we? I'll just get up David and Prince William. Oh, I've got to bring it up big so you can really enjoy it. Now, I've been accused of being sexist when I say things like that, but I make no apologies. I think they're very pleasant to look at. Now, this story is important because it formed the backdrop for some new spin. We heard from the Telegraph, and we also heard from the less reputable Daniela Elsa for News Corp. But the reason why I bring her into it, I want to show you that it's being reported sort of across the spectrum of media outlets. And what they're claiming is that the two brothers are at war. They have warring agendas, that they're in some sort of global turf war. Now, anyone that has followed this story for any length of time just knows this is utter rubbish, and I will explain why in 1 second, but let's just have a look at the headlines and what they're claiming. This is from the Telegraph. Harry and William are warring princes with identical agendas. And then if we go on, we can see that they're saying what Wednesday's new shot of the Duke of Sussex, that was when he actually ended up in South Africa, highlights the global turf war quietly going on between him and the Prince of Wales. Now, anyone that's followed this story for any length of times knows that it's rubbish. That Prince William is not in any sort of war. There is no warring agenda. There is no competition for attention. All Prince William is doing is getting on with his initiatives, getting on with his duty, looking after his family, and soundly ignoring Prince Harry. Prince Harry, on the other hand, has been a little stalker pretty much since he left the UK. Now, of course, I'm being facetious, accusing Harry of being a stalker, but everybody on social media, anybody that is aware of the real story that the traditional media is apparently just sort of catching up with, is the fact that every time Prince William and Princess Catherine received any sort of significant attention, up would pop Meghan Markle in a car park for a pap walk. That's why she's known across social media as Meghan Carparkle. Also, if that didn't suffice, she would launch a new business. She would get attention that way. If she didn't have yet another new business to launch, she would announce a rebrand. If she didn't have a rebrand to actually announce, well, then she'd work out that she was going to rebuild her website and put up a new royal crest. Anything to get the attention. Now, this is so well known amongst people that really know the true story of all this that they can even time it down to the day, maybe even the hour or the minute. Now, you might think that this is unnecessarily immature, inane, bitchy commentary, but it's not, and I stand by it. What it is actually a serious analysis of what is really going on. So let's look into some of the other claims. Now, this is interesting. This is from Danielle Also, and she actually did quite a bit of research for me because this all checks out. What has become clear is how oddly William and Harry's programs are mirroring one another. In the span of 14 months alone, 4 major overseas destinations, New York, Singapore, South Africa and Germany, where one brother is visited, so too has the other brother not long after. Now, the brother visiting not long after is not Prince William. His schedule is set months and months in advance, whereas little reactive Harry is reacting on the fly. He's reacting in a panic, trying to get attention, trying to reassert himself as a royal. But he just comes across as a wannabe, desperate, thirsty for attention. Now, this does have some real ramifications, though, and this does concern me. And you will see that it does actually steal some oxygen from some really good initiatives. Like I said, I don't think you could get a better initiative than purchasing 2 air ambulances that are going to be commissioned and put to use immediately by, in the London vicinity. Imagine how many lives that is going to save. Imagine the impact that that is going to have. But no, we've got to have the oxygen taken away from that initiative because let's face it, if it was celebrated properly, maybe more money would pour in and maybe more air ambulances could be purchased. But the oxygen was taken away a little bit and I'll show you examples. And again, it's just unnecessary spin. Now, admittedly, a lot of this is from hardcore-friendly media, but some of it isn't from hardcore-friendly media, and you can see how unnecessary it is. Look at this headline. I watched Prince William hang out with David Beckham. It sent Harry a very clear message. Now, that was quite a positive article in favour of Prince William because it pointed out the fact of Harry ignoring David Beckham when he invited him to go to Australia to launch the Invictus Games, how very rude he was. And here is Prince William. If Prince William asks you to do something, he stands by you, he highlights you, and he thanks you when you achieve your goal. Maybe that's because he's a mature person, an adult. Next one, we'll have a look at the next headline. Again, unnecessarily mentioning Harry, although it's not surprising from Hello magazine. Prince William reunites with David Beckham after Harry's brief return to the UK. Just had to get it in. We've got to plod in with the Well Child Awards. Next one, Daily Telegraph. Prince Harry flies to Africa without Meghan Markle as Prince William joins David Beckham. Well, what a load of codswallop that headline is. I mean, the one thing of significance should have led, you would think. The fact that Prince Harry's flying to Africa without Megsy baby isn't really leading headline worthy, is it? Another one from Hello on the same day, no less, and this one did make me actually giggle. Prince Harry arrives in South Africa after cousin Princess Beatrice shares happy news. Oh, sorry, B. Even the fact that you announced you are having a baby just paled into insignificance when Hello learnt that Harry was, scratching his nose? So, of course, we also enjoyed this from the Telegraph. Where's Meghan? Where's Meghan Markle? Now, I suspect that this was actually planted by the Markle camp because she doesn't really want to appear at the moment. She's hiding. She's in hiding after the bullying allegations from the Hollywood Reporter. But if she can generate some speculation and some attention, well, it's all good. It's all good. Any attention is good attention when it comes to Meghan Markle. Now, I should give you some context for this. This PR expert was talking in relation to the fact that Meghan Markle should probably lay low and was even asserting that this was a plan in order for the public to remember how much they adored Harry, how delightful he was, and how much we miss him. Well, that is incredibly optimistic. I mean, they're counting on the fact that the public has incredibly short memories, and there's people like me that can remind everyone, isn't that just so annoying and frustrating? Next, very interesting assertion. What they did was generate hype and made a lot of promises that haven't been delivered on. Now, talking about promises that haven't been delivered on, do you remember last November? that Meghan appeared on that red carpet for Variety, and her poor hapless assistant was trying to shoo her off the red carpet because I think Margot Robbie was waiting to get her photograph taken, and Meghan just would not leave that red carpet. In the end, she nearly had to be dragged off by her hair. Anyway, remember this quote. I dragged this up because I found it very interesting to reminisce. Have a look at this one. Meghan has said that they have exciting things on the slate. Remember she said that in a rather breathy way when she was interviewed on the red carpet? Things that make people feel, I was going to say good. No, we couldn't expect to feel good with any initiative that you actually launched, Meghan. But it's more than that. Things that make people feel something. What? Annoyance? Frustration? Boredom? Right? She said on the red carpet in November. Again, I know that I might sound unnecessarily bitchy and critical and sarcastic, but there is a valid point to this. What have they launched that has made people feel something? What have they launched that has made people feel good? Nothing. All of it has been completely self-serving. I mean, we all know that they're trying to act like the Parent Network sort of association is going to benefit Parent Network. If anything, I'd say that a very good organisation, a very good idea is in fact being markled. Now, this came out today. The Princess of Wales seemed back at work for the first time since chemotherapy, and it's a lovely shot of her hugging her guest that was actually there taking some photographs for an investiture that Prince William was doing today. Now, the difference between Harry and Meghan and the Prince and Princess of Wales is that we get to know the person's name. This is Liz Hatton, who has a rare and aggressive form of cancer. She was invited to Windsor Castle as part of her bucket wish list. Now, she's a budding photographer who was given the rare permission to shoot pictures behind the scenes of an investiture, which were later published by Kensington Palace. So they have helped her to fulfill a dream. And the wonderful thing is, we know why she was there. We know her story. We know her name. We know her hopes and dreams. We know that this was one of her bucket list wishes. And indeed, the photograph with the Princess of Wales giving her a lovely, warm and genuine hug was also on her bucket list. And she'll get to treasure that. So you see the difference between Harry and Meghan and real royals, the difference between wannabes and real royals is that we get to focus on the point of the photo op. We get to focus on the whole point behind the story. And every time Harry and Meghan appear, it's all about them. Thank you very much. I'll see you again soon. Now, I'm going to put this up as a live about 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be snoring my head off, so you're not going to see me. But I thought I would do that because I thought it would actually benefit some people that live on the other side of the world, because I do favour the Aussies. I do tend to put up Gossip Before Bed at 9:30 p.m. Australian time. I do tend to put up my books at 9:30 p.m. Australian time, and that will continue. Also, the proper spin cycle, the big wash on Monday evenings, is also on at 9:30 p.m. So I just thought for some fun, I'd break it up a little bit and just pop one up while I'm in bed snoring my head off. So enjoy, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.